Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Coffee and Poets at Naked Lounge, 11th and 8th Street. I'm your guest host, Dr. V.S. Chochezi, and this program is produced by Lawrence Dinkins. Today I'm interviewing Cleo Cartel. It's Easter Sunday. And let me tell you a little bit about Cleo. Cleo Cartel was born and raised in Oakland, California. She now resides and creates in Sacramento. She is one of the creators of the Mahogany Urban Poetry Series and is a host there every first Wednesday of the month. She's an artist, writer, poet, singer, songwriter, stylist, and designer. Please help me welcome the fabulous, the wondrous, the unique, the one and only Miss Cleo Cartel.
That was a wonderful introduction. I have to take you in a suitcase with me everywhere I go.
Girl, I'll be glad to go too. I'll just be tagging along.
Excellent.
I want to start with, I'm hoping that you will share a poem for us right now.
Okay, that's what's up. I can do that.
Thank you.
I can do that. Let me see. I guess I'll start off with, let's see.
Can y'all hear the pages turning? The brain spinning? She's coming with it.
This is called Black Gold. And let me know, Lawrence, can you hear me really good, even if I take that away a little bit, because I'm loud.
Okay,
and when I get into it.
Okay, go.
Okay, cool. Over 18 million sold black gold. Wrap your mind around that. Prostitution is illegal, fact, but the sale of black backs. Can you hear the sounds of whips crack? Our human worth dirt, face first, tasting gravel as handcuffs to shackles enable us to protect our bodies? How can the original man, firstborn, be so disrespected on Mother Earth? Born from wet wombs, kicking and screaming, born with a fighter DNA. We fight to pray, fight to belong, fight to love, fight to live, fight to work, fight, 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 fight. We born shadow boxing that oppression. Equality, you say, is that equal to your education? So we must pay institutions to play in hunger games. This civilization of reprogrammed damnation, our divide now greater. We have been programmed to hate ourselves. That mandatory relocation across the transatlantic, pumping our sons and fathers with cocaine, attempting to destroy the royal strain, breeding Mandingo robots, then calling us crazy, giving us our first taste of addiction. What a monster we fight. We fight. You say post-racial, I say pass the Vaseline. Is it going to be you continue to fuck us? Let me help myself by easing the pain. Is it too hot in the kitchen, master or mister, teacher or pastor? But where's the wisdom? What's the objective? My people highly disrespected, but your laws, what a crafty web you've weaved. Want to claim birth is first, but not conceive. You can't have life without the lesson, dominion without the blessing, self-appointer, agitator, thief, liar, justice with no peace, peace with no justice. Yellow tape our frustrations, scare us into silence. We will rise again. Whether it's peace or war, we will rise again.
Woo. I don't think I've heard that piece before, Cleo. Black Gold. I love it.
Thank you.
So, let's get into the interview.
All righty.
My first question is, why do you write poetry?
Well, I come from a long line of writers and self-expressionists. My mom was a writer. My dad was a writer. And my mother encouraged me to write and actually do poetry to get over stage fright for singing. You know, and she always said, you know, sometimes you gotta be the writer of your own story, you know, and she just allowed me to be creative in that way. So.
All right, thank you.
Welcome, thank you. That's a good question.
When did you start writing poetry?
Probably around 12.
Age of 12.
Probably poetry, I should say. I used to write short stories, but, you know, not really great, but probably poetry around 12.
All right.
Right.
And where do you draw inspiration from your poetry?
My environment, in events, music, a lot of times music. You know, I like to go back and listen to old sounds, you know. It's funny because when I do listen to older music, a lot of the struggles and things that they sang about then are actually still going on right now. And I think that their music is a lot more truth than what we have today. You know, we have good music. You know, we have a thing called like rap now. You know, they talk a lot about, you know, the struggles, but it's mostly like neighborhood condensed type of struggles. But with the older music, it talks about those struggles, but it also talks about political, environmental, personal, you know, and I really like that. I think I draw a lot from that for music, the most.
Wow. Okay. Today somebody sent me a cut from Ben Harper. It was Maya Angelou's "And Still I Rise," but he was like singing it. It was
wow.
Yeah, I'll share it with you.
Please.
Yeah,
Okay. Right.
It was amazing.
Okay.
And I, you know, just putting it out there. I would love to hear my poetry on a song. Probably. Well,
nice.
you add song to your poetry.
Right. Well, I will do that later on.
Oh, very good. Thank you. I've known you as a poet for a long time. When did you begin sharing spoken word in Sacramento, and how did that come about?
Hold on. You know what? I think the first time that I shared poetry in Sacramento was my senior year at JFK, and I was excited because they had finally got some how can I say this and be nice? Some black activities. So they had this event, and it was a great event. I want to say Miss Washington put it together. Had a BSU, and I did poetry and I sang. I think that was the first time I shared in Sacramento. But on a more, I guess you want to say, professional level, it was probably at Off-Broadway. Do you remember that?
I remember Off-Broadway.
Mom, you remember that too? Okay, I think it was the first place. Yeah.
I don't remember spoken word at Off-Broadway. I remember they had jazz.
No, they had spoken word too.
September.
September.
That was Off-Broadway?
Yes, ma'am. Right.
Took outro one.
I don't even remember.
Right. I think
Social Security.
Ooh. Okay. I think that was the first time. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Right.
What poetry projects have you created or been included within, such as anthologies and poetry events?
Oh, I wish you would have sent me this question. Oh, doctor. Let me see. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so here's the thing. I have the worst memory ever.
Okay, I'll give you some prompts. Some of the things that I can think of offhand: hedonism, blue room, mahogany, more recently
All
the
those.
Garvey Marketplace.
You know what? I am probably in over 10 anthologies, and I can't remember one of them.
Wow.
But I know for sure, you know. Projects, oh my goodness. Because I am very active in creating something, like when I get a thought, it's like I feel like I can go ahead and push that project on through. I don't think about what I can't do. I think about how can I do, you know, and I put it into action really quick. So there are so many projects a month that we do, mahogany being one. I'm probably most times silent because Kyrie gets on my nerves a lot of the times. So I'm probably the silent person behind most of the projects we give at Mahogany. most of the shows, and we probably give 2 shows a month. Then I also do a lot of production myself, as far as like with the Garvey Market. I did some sets every Saturday with that. I offered an open mic, and then I brung a feature poet, and then I try to be extremely active in having a forum for performers to come and do their craft. I think that's very important, that is available, all the time, all throughout the week. I think that's important. If we don't have that, then it's like, how do we share our story? Whatever it is, song, dancing, poetry, music, I think that art, it's real important, severely important to me because I'm an artist. I want to say, I just moved back from the Bay Area, so I had a bunch of things going there. First Friday, I offered free vending at my space in Oakland on Broadway. You could come vend, you could come do poetry, you can spin, a DJ, you can bring your art and sell it. So those are projects. Every first Friday we did that. Then I had a project in Berkeley at my salon there, to where you can come be creative, you can drop off your stuff and I will sell it for you, just trying to be an outlet for people to realize their potential, and that what they do creative wise is doable, so those are the things I'm most passionate about, and those are like projects that I've been in. Of course, slam, being on several slam teams, or involved in slam teams, but being involved or being on Sacramento slam team, helping along, being an instructor, leading workshops for Youth Speaks.
A lot, yeah.
Busy, I guess. And then, it's times I'll be sitting home like, what am I going to do? Well, I need to do something, So, yeah, I try to stay busy. So.
All right, wonderful. Wow. My next question was, what is your experience with slam poetry? And so you kind of broached that, but maybe you want to talk a little more about that.
Well, I got introduced to slam poetry. Actually, I knew about slam poetry, but I didn't really know what it entailed. So we were lucky enough to be introduced to slam from Angela Boyce. She came along and she taught us and coached us. And I mean, she was a dynamic inspiration for me as far as telling a story, because that was the approach that Angela took with us. It wasn't really about slam. It wasn't about competition. It was never any. We didn't even really know that you got prizes. We had no idea about none of that. All we knew was we got to change the way we told our story, but in an active, more vibrant performance way, and with that she showed us a whole nother way of just expressing yourself. And with that we learned how to be better writers, how to listen to other poets, listen to the material, find our voice within that. We learned how to be more passionate about poetry, about spoken word, what spoken word actually was. We learned rules, we learned formation. We learned how to be in a group environment. We learned so many. We learned how to travel in a group and be performers and sell our material. We learned so much from Angela. It's just, she was an awesome teacher. And
rest in peace.
Rest in peace, right. So, I want to say, I think probably the most important thing I learned about slam and from Angela was that my voice is important, and what I say is, and what I bring to the stage is purely about what I want to bring, not about scores, not about hand claps, not about applause. And I like to shake things up anyway, so that's natural for me, but it's important to get out to a mass crowd what it is you want the world to know about your change. So, yeah, that's slam for me.
All right. And you said you were part of Sacramento's slam team.
Yes, ma'am.
And that you've helped other slam teams.
Right.
What was your experience like being part of Sacramento's slam team?
It was amazing. It was nerve-wracking. I think I got an ulcer that year. I'm just going, I mean, you know what? Until you travel as a poet, you have no idea the talent and the dedication. And sometimes you take things for granted. You take things because sometimes as an African, we have natural gifts. Well, we have natural gifts as storytellers, as songwriters. That's just in us from birth. We come out the womb singing, But when when a song humming, tapping, we really do. We just have a natural rhythm. Mm-hmm. Let me just say that.
Yes.
And it's amazing. Sometimes you take for granted that you can do things. Like I took for granted that I could write and that I could perform a little bit. But I thought I could perform really great. I thought I was like, hot shit. Humbling experience. Because I met people who, and this is gonna sound crazy, poets for real. I mean that they ate, lived, and slept poetry, writers, and it just changed me. It changed me as far as you can't really take that for a joke. It's not really a joke. These people really dedicate time to writing for life. Mm-hmm. And that experience for me blew me back. I remember the first time we went to, we were touring, because you do a pre-tour. It's sort of like introducing you to the slam world. They want to know who's the hot new people coming, and so you go. It's like a circuit, very structural, very coordinated. So you go here, you go to Oakland, and you go to San Jose. You do all the Bay Area slams, and then you do all the West Coast nationals, which and you get to see all these people, and after doing the Bay Area, I was like, you need to go take your ass home. And you need to work on your shit. You need to get serious about it. This is what you're going to do. Because there's a lot of money being spent. A lot of people dedicating and sending checks and donating. And they want you to go out there and represent their city as a writer. And as a performer. See, and people have this thing about slam. You have no clue. Unless you are about it, in it, deep. So, and then when we got to LA, baby, I was like, they cheating. They got to be cheating. Where's the prompt? Where's the prompter? Somebody is holding up stuff. There's no way they can remember all that. There's no way they had a group piece that was that dynamic. And then I got to see other states. I was like, later for LA, South Carolina, New York, killing the game. Yeah. So, I mean, that for me was awesome to be able to have that experience. Experience is a great thing.
Great teacher.
Yes, it is. So that was my slam experience in a nutshell.
So you did kind of touch on this. So slam, it involves money, and there's a whole fundraising piece to that,
ma'am.
right?
Yes.
And did you get involved in the fundraising side of it?
Yes, we did. And at the time, we had, again, a dynamic teacher on how to fundraise. But I think, crazy enough, we had checks coming in from everywhere. Sacramento was so excited to have somebody representing them on a national level that, and I just will tell people, my primary is I'm a licensed cosmetologist. And at the time I was working with Margaret Fortune, good friend of mine, and her salon was kind of like a hub. It was we did political things on the weekend, and then on the week we did hair. So I told Margaret came back with all these checks. I said, what in the? She's like, I just told, look, this is what we do. And they were like, really? And so people started checking, seeing what Slam was. And they were like, really? We have a team? Oh, this is cool. For culture here? So the checks just really came in. I think, too, we were at a good time economically that when people, had a little change to give, they give thanks.
Is it Dr. Margaret Fortune? Is she like the leader of the Fortune schools?
Her father is Dr. Fortune. She is right. Well,
I haven't met her. I don't know.
He's now retired. Her mother and her father are now retired, and she's heading the school, the Fortune schools now. So right.
Okay, so I have a few more questions for you.
Right.
Let's see. What do you see in your future in terms of poetry?
To be honest, I'm in a funny space right now. I'm not sure of anything right now. I am creating whatever I can create. I don't know why I'm in this space, but I'm kind of just writing on faith at this point. I have some things that I've planned. Like you said, I paint. So I've been painting this story. It's called The Talls. The Talls. And the Talls are from Lake Charles, Louisiana, and it's a sister of 5. And I started off with the illustrations of the Talls, and the primary character is Abatula Talls. She is the eldest, and she's the first one to leave Lake Charles, Louisiana. But she's more or less the storyteller of how all the sisters left Louisiana and started their own families and businesses and things in that nature. Just telling the story, just telling a black story, a family story, and about how they were raised, how dynamic their mother and father was, and how their business structure was in Lake Charles, and how the town was, and so I'm writing that story, I'm putting poetry, and I'm putting stories together, but I'm just letting it ride, and do what I'm letting it do what it does. Right. So
that sounds wonderful.
Right.
Wow. So you're painting it, you're writing it, you're just
right. I'm just letting it live, letting it breathe.
Beautiful.
Right. So I think that's one of the things in my future that I'm working on. So.
You mentioned Angela Boyce. Which other poets have influenced your work?
Oh. There have been so many. And you know what? The poets that really influenced me are not famous. Are famous to the world, I should say. They're people that I personally know. Like Queen Sheba, Ice Life, Talam Acey, my own crew, Patrice Hill, Ifa Morupe, Sonia Whittle. There's so many dynamic poets that just don't get the shine, or maybe don't continue, that are dynamic and better than some of the famous ones, or so-called famous. So those are some of the people that really influenced me. I want to probably say Queen Sheba a lot, because I just dig. Yeah, Queen Sheba. You do. I've brought her several times. She's from Virginia, resides now in North Carolina. I'll pull up some stuff and send it to you.
Thank you.
Refresh you. But a lot of her work, a lot of Mike McGee, some of the newest, young people, Ronnie LeRae or Luke Taylor, phenomenal. Dre T, phenomenal poets. I'm going to tell you something about Sacramento that people probably do not know. There are some great talent and writers right here in this hub. So, yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah. And of course, straight out Strides. Wait a minute. What are you saying? I mean, that's a given. I don't even think I even had to say that.
You didn't have to say that. I didn't pay her to say that.
I mean, I know. Straight out. Oh, wow. I'm going to get emotional.
Don't do it.
Okay.
You know, if you start, then everybody out here will be boo-hooing. Okay, so
Wow.
I'm going to just scratch that question. I think you've already answered it.
What is it, though?
Which poets do you enjoy reading and hearing? So the first one was who influenced you. The next one was who do you enjoy reading and hearing. But I think they're like one and the same, maybe. Okay, besides sharing your original poetic artistry, you're also an accomplished hairstylist.
Yes.
And please talk about your hairstyling journey.
Whoa. Okay, so I have been a licensed hairstylist. Ooh, and I would so date myself if I said how long. Okay, over 20 years.
Ooh.
But that is because my parents encouraged us to go through this program in high school to get licensed. We would get credits, and then so we got our license at 16. So,
Nice.
yeah, so
Wow.
hair has been my man, my religion, my house, my money, my mind. It's been my friend. It's been my enemy. Hair has allowed me to travel the world. I have owned over 6 salons. Hair has taught me. I have never, except I can say right after college, I worked for social services. Not long. And I did some freelance drafting, and I don't want to say for who, but I decided that is not what I want to do. So hair allowed me to be in business for myself, and it taught me how to appreciate money and use it for the purposes of good. It taught me how to interact with people. It taught me how to have good relationships. It taught me how to mask shit to go to business the next day and perform and still be on. I don't know if that's a good thing, but it helped in a lot of other situations. So I'll probably say yes. It taught me how to be an awesome community leader. I remember, and you know what? And I don't even know why at this young age, I remember owning a salon, and I think I was 22, and there was a barbershop next door to me. And I said one day, we had been in the community, him there longer than me, but I'd been there 2 or 3 years. I said, hey, why don't we give a barbecue for the community? He was like, that sounds pretty dope. I said, we do about everybody in town. We're very popular. We're very blessed. I see us going and coming in nice cars, and, we ain't want for nothing. So let's give something back. So he was like, well, how will we charge for food? I said, we're not going to charge for food. He was like, huh? I was like, we're going to go buy the food, and we're going to give it out. We're going to invite everybody. We're going to get flyers made. We're going to do everything we can to get people to come out and have a good time. I have been living in Sacramento. I have not seen that. I come from that. I come from parties and barbecues and all kind of events at Mosswood Park. I come from that. I don't see that here. Let's start that. Him being from the Bay Area too. So we got together and we bought all this food. We had our aunts and uncles cooking, and we had a line of maybe like 15 people cooking and doing. It was over 1,000 people at that barbecue.
Ooh.
And do you know, it was when Jacinto Park just opened. It was brand spanking new. and the authorities came out, of course, because there was a lot of chocolate folks out there. And they said, they sat there the whole time and says, wow, this is beautiful. Can we get a plate of food? So we had music. It was amazing. This is crazy. We had people playing dominoes over here. Wow. They were shooting dice over here. We had a DJ. And funny thing, that was the first time I met Kyrie. First time I interacted with Marcel. I was the first one to give Soup a job DJing at that event. Wow. First time I met Kyrie there. I went up to Kyrie and he was taking pictures of people. He had a little template, and he would put the little photo in the template, and the barbecue was called "It's Hot as Hell" because Sacramento, I was like, it's hot as hell out here. And so I came out, I tapped him on the shoulder. I was like, hey, you taking pictures? He was like, yeah, he got a bag of money, he taking pictures, and I'm like, okay. I says, do you know who's giving the barbecue? Yeah, I know Cleo. She's she's the person giving the event, and I got the okay from her. And I was like, did you really? So you know Cleo? He was like, yeah, Cleo. She's cool. I'm thanking her for letting us come. I was like, stop it. I'm Cleo. He was like, oh. I was like, give me that bag. And he started laughing. I said, no, you fine, sweetie. I was like, but if you can, because we're going to donate some money. I have a bag. I have 2 guys going around that are getting donations. If you can donate a little bit of your change that you made, I would appreciate it. And he was like, whoo! He was sweating. I was like, you are so crazy. And we've been friends ever since. But that's my experience as a hairstylist. Just there's been a lot. There's been a lot of times it's been a struggle. There's been times where it's been completely rewarding, and I wouldn't trade it for the world, because it actually has that more than anything has made me who I am. It has built friendships that I have met people I never would have met doing hair and styling, and I have built relationships that I've had for over 20 years strong to this day, and that is a beautiful thing. Right.
Okay, I do have a few more questions.
Okay.
How we doing for time?
Oh, you good?
Okay.
Because I'm a talker.
Yes, wonderful. I'm learning so much. I never heard the Kyrie story before. You make your own products as well.
I do.
And you have a product line,
Yes.
Yummy Goods.
Yes, I do.
Tell us a little bit about that endeavor.
Okay. I started Yummy Goods because my mother has rheumatoid arthritis. And with rheumatoid arthritis, it's very hard to find something that moisturizes your skin that's natural. There are things out there, but there are a lot of things that irritate the skin because, of course, it's not natural. It has a lot of chemicals in it. So I just watched my mom's feet just be really, really incredibly dry. And I would see her battle with buying product after product and just not getting the relief that she really wanted. I was like, well, Mom, let me make something. She was like, oh, Lord, here we go. You sound like your grandma now. Because my grandmother used to make hair grease and, and sell it, in batches. And so I was like, well, let me figure out something. I the internet's here. We can research. Let me figure out something. And so trial and error, I made a lot of things that grew green. My mom said, that won't work. She's like, because that needs to be refrigerated, and I don't know how long. So, trial and error. Yummy Goods came out of that, which has been dynamic.
All right.
I'm a witness.
All right.
I love Yummy Goods. Thank you.
You also have created a jewelry line.
Yes.
Where you make and sell your own jewelry.
Because I'm crazy.
How did you decide to do that, and where did you learn it? And beautiful earrings, by the way.
Thank you. Well, because I like to represent my culture, and the things that we like. It's hard to find that in quality. The color schemes that I like. the things that I like to wear, so I just decided I'll make it. You know, the funny thing is in my family, we've always been producers, you know. So I just decided, and I don't know how, trial and error. I just started making jewelry a long time ago. I've been making jewelry and making clothes, and my mom knew how to sew really well. My grandmother come from a long line of seamstress. Yeah, so that's what I do have earrings for sale.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
I recently discovered that you also paint, and I've seen some of your work.
Yes.
They have powerful energy and great color combinations. The ones I've seen look mostly like paintings of people, generally individuals. My favorite so far, and I've seen and really like several, is Caged Hues. It's a fantastic image. A lot of artists I come across paint celebrities. What inspires you to paint, and how do you select your subject matter for painting?
I commented early about I'm in this space. And it's funny that you say that. A lot of artists, I don't want to paint celebrities. I want to paint people that I know. You know, there is already a lot of acknowledgement of stars and what they do or whatever. I think people are over that already. And I don't paint for applause. You know, a lot of people paint because they think they're going to get the attention of probably a celebrity or whatever. I'm not really into that. What I am into is, for me now, I don't know, I'm going through this transition, and painting allows me to be vocal, but on a canvas. You know, it allows me to be free. I'm free. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care what people, you can't censor it. You can't say anything mean or rude. I don't really care. It allows me to be 100% present in that piece all the time. It's sometimes I think, and people ask me, how long you been painting? I'd be like, not even 10 years. They was like, come on, really? I was like, no, I'm serious. I couldn't even paint a stick. I couldn't, you know, I don't know where it came from. It just came out of nowhere. And I sit sometimes and I create and I cry. And I'm listening to a piece of music and I'm creating and I'm thinking to my higher power, how incredible is it that I can do this? You know, when you allow yourself 100% to just be free without all the world and all the mess and all the comments and all the, I don't care. I really don't care what you you know. It's a different type of creativity that comes forth that's birthed, and it's incredible. Like I said, I don't know. Kyrie thinks he my roommate, my play brother, he says, when the hell did you paint that? I was like, well, while you were asleep. He was like, do you go to bed? I said, probably never. You know, I said, because I'm too excited that I have this gift. You know, and I just I keep birthing it and birthing it and I'm just incredible. I just keep having all these babies. It's incredible. It's incredible.
It is. I mean, some of your work is on Facebook. Cleo, Cartel on Facebook. And you have some of the images, and I just kind of scroll through and just enjoy. And it's so varied, you know.
Right.
Some of the images.
Right.
It's like,
right.
It's wonderful.
Thank you.
And I was like, wow, I didn't know you did all that.
And then, you know, I have been doing it for a long time, but sometimes when you're about to birth something, you can't really tell everybody. You know, you got to keep something. And I'm learning that because I'm not a secretive person. My grandmother, we were raised with the thing, you make everything public so nobody can hold anything against you. You know, we were raised with, you know, you don't have no secrets. You really don't. You know, but I have had to retract and have some secrets, you know, because at a point when I started, really, I was sensitive. And so allowing somebody to know my secret probably would have made me stop. if they would have said something that was mean or, rude or, I didn't like that. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this anymore because I don't like it, So I had to keep a secret for a little while until I was ready to really not care.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel you on that.
How do your talents and artistic endeavors influence your poetry?
I think it's just a collision of everything. I think everything just collides together. I think my my artsy, painty side influences my jewelry. My jewelry influences my styling. My styling influences my hair. It's just like it's like a circle, and it just keeps rotating. I'm blessed for that.
Wow.
So that's probably how.
Will you share another poem with us?
Yes. Okay. Okay. So with doing all this stuff, like I said, my memories. So I try, when you slam, eventually when you're on the big stage, you have to have everything memorized. So that has probably been the biggest issue for me ever as a slam poet. So I had to dedicate a lot of time to memorizing pieces, and that, having to have so many in your arsenal to pull out at any time was very stressful for me, because I write a lot. So so after I had a chance not to do that no more, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm ever memorize another poem unless I slam again. And I thought about slamming this year, but we didn't get our team together this year. So if you hear the pages turn, that was my segue into that. If you hear the pages turn, that's why, because I don't memorize nothing. I don't have to. And, okay, so that's not true, because I can memorize a song. I don't know why, but I can. So.
Are you going to share some? Oh, you said you were. Okay.
I am. So I didn't write this piece of the song. Cody Chestnut actually wrote this piece, but I dug it so much, and I hope I do it justice. So, and it's called "What Kind of Cool Is That?" But I wrote a piece to go with it. So, see how that goes. Know how to walk. Know how to run, know how to stay fly in the hardest times. But what we don't know is that ain't gonna be enough. Know how to front, know how to hustle, know how to boost to stay fly and fake it till we make it, but what we don't know is that ain't gonna be enough. So what kind of cool is this? What kind of cool do we think of next? What kind of cool? What kind of cool? What kind of cool? What kind of cool will we think of next? We live in glass houses built with checks we can't cash from fast money, honey. We live for nights secured by fake passion from strangers made of Barbie doll pieces and silicone self-esteem and lies and faces claiming to hate fake shit while we bake shit in our minds of what the perfect mate is. What kind of cool is that? Chase paper moons that don't exist, only in fairy tales, partake in rat races, selling our souls to exist by standards set by little red men with horns. Honey, what kind of cool is that? Baby, we turn it up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. lose our religion for showtime at the Apollo, tap dancing for plastic trinkets that collect dust when no one's watching. We lie to ourselves, remain in comas induced by chasing the titles and the fame. Baby, what kind of cool is that? Pouring, and throwing up and deny that we ever did shit. Leaving fingerprints and proof. We leave others to take the blame for our irresponsible actions, and we continue like nothing ever happened. What kind of cool is that? Claim to be captains, but never really earned a crew. We bad. We bad. We bang. We still banging. Where they still do that at? They bang in Chicago, New Orleans, New York, Oakland, Miami. Know how to walk, know how to run, know how to stay fly in the hardest times. But what we don't know is that ain't gonna be enough, no. We fight on social media, get our history facts from Wikipedia. We participate in these races with familiar faces, competing for titles. Now we're rivals, American idols. We fight for finance and romance with no substance. Juke and jive, lie and hide, party and dance. Media-induced trance. In love with the illusion with what it could look like, y'all. What kind of cool is that? You know, she don't really look like that in person. We build bridges with wax, laxed on the facts. So when the sun shines, the support beams drips like secrets that were meant to be kept. And support is a two-way street built with trust in us. More than two, but here's the truth. We got so much to do, replace the root. What kind of cool is that? What kind of cool is that? Learn from the youth. Shit, we need to remix the juice. Where is the proof? Hurts like an old tooth. We behind in the mind. Open our eyes to the blind. We create chaos and then hide. Shit, what kind of cool is that? And watch the destruction. What is the connection? The evil within. Want to kill the lion's den. Want to bring the love within. We can begin again. How about a dance? We can begin there. Play us some Stevie, Master Blaster. We can all shine with a change of mind. Freedom feels like this night. This is the cool. This is the cool. We can all heal shit. This is the cool. This is the cool. We're kind of cool. This is the cool. But if we continue to ride the fine line like old cars, we will roll hard and reckless, loyal to none. We serve God like work days. We give to get, preach to pet, plot without plan, predestined but won't believe. Fight the war with people in our heads. We wage war for self-satisfaction, self-gain. Manipulation is a game. We play cards hard. We pretend not to care, but crying in closets because truth has become far from the root. What kind of cool is that? What kind of cool is that? See, we know how to walk, know how to run, know how to stay fly in the hardest times. But what we don't know is that ain't gonna be enough, no. Know how to front, know how to hustle, know how to boost to stay dressed and keep fly. But what we don't know is that ain't gonna be enough, no. What kind of cool will we think of next? What kind of cool will we think of next? What kind of cool will we think of next? What kind of cool will we think of next? To hide Bye.
Whew. How cool is that? I love it. Cleo, what does your middle name mean? And can you say it for us?
Tobias Zara.
Tobias Zara.
Oh, that was good, doctor. That was good. You're pretty smart. So, Tobias Zara means giver of good and God manifests. But it also means some other things in different languages. I think that might be my next phase. I might not be Cleo Cartel no more. I might just be Tobias Zara. So, but I'm not ready for that all the way yet. So, that is probably like a transitional thing, or that's probably something I would make people I don't like call me. My grandma did that. You know. So.
And what language is it?
Mm-hmm.
Which language?
That is it's Swahili. But it also, it's a bunch of languages. I've actually found in a bunch of languages.
Some Arabic.
Right. Some Arabic, right.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome, dear.
Let's see. Okay. You probably already broached this, but I'm going to ask you again.
Okay.
It's a little slightly different.
This. Okay.
I know you to be a dreamer and to be someone who dreams big. Is there anything that you would like to do with your artistic talents, poetry, or otherwise, that you haven't tried yet?
Don't start no mess. Oh my goodness.
Is it a secret?
No. That I haven't started yet.
You haven't tried, but it's something you.
I have tried almost everything. Shit. Okay, you know what? Let me say this. The thing with saying that or admitting that, it makes you right. You already know. It already makes me look crazier than I am. You know, and then people we're conditioned to think, and I don't know where we got this from, because in our villages where we come from, we did everything, you know. But we have this thing here in this Western civilization to where you can only be good at one thing. You're supposed to only do one thing. You're supposed to go to school for that one thing and be that one thing and be good. But when you start being good at too many things, and you're like this trades, you know, you're the Jill or Jack. I don't believe in all that. I believe that you have seasons. I believe that you should be happy in whatever it is you do. And if you decide today that you don't want to be a physician, and tomorrow you want to sell rocks, shit, when we go into the quarry, you know, I'm gonna help you be the best rock salesman, you know, and I'm not gonna look at you any different. But we really have to embrace that with our kids. You know, it's important that we foster what our kids are good at. And when they're tired of that, we tell them, no, you finish. And then you can move on to something else. Because all knowledge is good knowledge. Whatever you can learn, whatever skill you can bring or learn, that is great knowledge for when you become an adult. But trying to make people be what they're not or what you want them to be, yeah, I'm not with that. So, right.
Okay.
Did I answer the question?
No. That's okay.
What was the question again?
What would you like to do with your artistic talents that you haven't tried yet?
So the reason why I sometimes don't admit those things that I want to try, I probably want to be a chef. I love to cook.
You can practice on us, Cleo.
I love to cook.
I love to eat. Invite me over.
Okay. Anytime. You know, our doors.
You know I'm vegetarian, right?
I do know
that.
I do know that.
Okay, you can practice on me.
I mean, I was vegetarian for 6 years. Me and my husband, ex-husband, wherever he at. Let me see. A chef.
I like that. Okay.
I always wanted to own a restaurant. Felix actually gave us a trial Me and Efi, he's like, so y'all want to be restaurant owners too, huh? Come on in and do something. And he gave us the key to Jamaica House then. And we went in the weekend and did Soul Food Sundays.
Ah.
And I could have pulled all my hair out. He's like, yeah, so how you liking it? Because we're getting rave reviews and you're going to have to continue it. I said, not on your life. Because this is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Oh, my goodness. I take my hat off to people who own restaurants and, it's just a lot of work.
I'm not really a connoisseur of TV and cooking shows especially, but I am a channel surfer and I did come across Hell's Kitchen. It was wild.
That's wild.
And
it's a lot of prepping. It's a lot of work.
Would you share another form with us?
Yes, I will. This is for all my sisters out there. Yay. This is called Hey Dark Skin Sis. This is for every dark skinned sis kissed by the lips of God. Your job is to rule the world. Beautiful brown skinned girl, close your eyes and ears to the fears of those lost. Sanctify your circle with believers of your worth and middle fingers to the ones who cursed queen shit from birth. This skin we in make mouths water. They stare at this physique for hours. Write songs about this brown skin. Try to disrespect and disregard us, but bake for days in machines, never to come close to this roast. Egyptian harvest, hand-picked hot shit. Thick thighs, big eyes, we the reason why the world twerk now. Work like no other, the best baby mothers, the strongest lovers. Know how to buy and ride in the Range Rover. Don't forget we raised nations from the hood to Hollywood to Serengeti. Hold the world on our shoulders regardless of how heavy. We attract the light to magnify the night. Know how to hold it down and ride the kites. Baby blue black, mahogany deep, red brown, caramel to red bone. Look like virgin diamonds cold. Sweet like molasses. Make a bitch take classes on how to be this beautiful black. Our hair like heaven. Perfection in every coil. Call this texture 7. We are royalty, rocking in every nappy crown. It is our birthright. Every time you see these locks or extensions of an afro, don't ever let go of the keys to the throne. Ladies, every time you see us, men, we are Nubians. You should bow. Know that you are home. See, we make miracles daily. Take $20 to feed the neighborhood's babies. 2 times a lady. Even when they driving us crazy. Do or die, baby. Never second guess us. Original mother of the universe. We bless the world with the first birth. These hands touch wounds while praying for healing. Raise our hands to the ceilings. Tribal dancing. Romancing the stone. Wearing elephant bones in our original tone. We in a godly zone. Wherever we plant our feet, we call it home. Don't ever second guess us. We invented the bus. Can't get enough. They love to lust, but we are no longer your secrets. Cause baby, the word is out. Got others checking for queens. Want to get on the chocolate scene. Don't you forget where the breast milk fell from first. Chocolate milk never tasted so sweet. No other can compete. Try to get made up, but ain't enough makeup to make you resemble me.
Okay, this is my last question for you. Is there anything you were hoping I would ask that didn't get asked, or anything further you would like to add?
Yes. That's funny, right?
Your final statement. Do you have anything left to say to the jury?
Be encouraged. That's all I can say. Be encouraged to be whatever your dynamic is. Be encouraged to step out of the box. Be encouraged to make your circle small enough to where you can create masterpieces daily and just shine whatever that is to you. You know, be encouraged to do that. Be encouraged to be a supporter of people who are crafty and artsy and creative. If you don't have that, you know, sometimes people just don't have that create, or they haven't birthed it yet. Because I believe everybody is creative, but for some reason, people have things stuck in their mind. Be a supporter of that, and even if you are creative, be a supporter of other creative things. Get out there, socialize, especially within your community and with your people. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you, Cleo, Cartel. Thank you, Naked Lounge. Thank you, Inside. Thank you, Naked Lounge audience. And can you take us out with a poem, please?
All right. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate and enjoyed this. My last piece is called Can't Wait for Wednesday. We live inside smoky bass notes and back rooms. We live waiting for our chance to dance, our chance to heal, chanting, holding our breaths. To read peace from sheets of life. See, we live for love. Poets, we live for love. Setting souls free, inhale this rhythm. My drum dance, my life chants. See, we live for love. Regardless of crowds and applause, regardless of money made, shit, we stay paid, because our spirits fill these cups. Always have just enough. So we say, God, use us to be the beacons of light, because those that cannot see do not know the harm they do. So we live for Wednesdays and open mics to shed these layers of worldly strife. These places fuel our motivation to live more, to love more. We grow here, and we are thankful that we made it. So we kiss microphones and throw up deuces for truth. Let the stage baptize the new and pray for the youth. We exchange the proof like collection plates on Sabbath service. Just a little nervous because it's the first time you heard us spit our stories. Mostly grit and grime, no glory. We are the candle operas, but we burn at both ends. Pistols to defend, from poets to pirates, quicker than they can call us a bunch of niggas. Because all they see are Hollywood movies and the roles they write for us to portray. As they laugh behind iron curtains, dangling little brass men like bait, saying, wait for it, wait for it, wait. What is our obsession with European acceptance? Get a kick out of rejection and then we back at it again. Can't use my back to build bridges for you to cross over, cash checks to build empires while we still live in projects with #1 songs on radios. Gold grills go so hard driving leased caddies. The teachers ask the children's mother, where are the daddies? See, she's not listening. She's not listening. Too busy tracking him on Instagram to give a damn about their son's academics. It's all gas and gimmicks. You'll say enough creative 16s for new jeans. Proclaim to be a prophet, but backstage, drugs, please stop it. The lies. Ignore the block as the city cries, numb to the little black block boys that die from pistol popping. Ain't got shit to do with hip hopping. It's from a lack of resources, food to mouth, fresh water, clean sheets for good sleep. Some are worse than the machine. Secretly they curse our dreams. Secretly they curse our dreams. How will we excel from jail cells at age 12? We looking for change, not paragraphs and speeches prepared by middle-class PhDs too privileged to even promise some hope. It takes motivation and action, so I'm asking, what's our positions? Are we master builders are bulldozers. Pick one. Thank you. I'm Cleo Cartel.
Thank you, Cleo. And this has been Coffee and Poets with your guest host, Dr. V.S. Chochezi.
Here I support the 10. Open the door to let him in. Look around for his friends, 'cause he never is alone. He like to share his world with me, but he's afraid of what they want him to be. Instead of having an identity, he will never really know what it's like to be as one, to have a love, to have some fun. What it's like to be on top and nothing else really matters. 'Cause real love is what you got, he will never know. I believe he like to be the strength that holds down the community, but he's conflicted with reality, so he will never really be free. What it's like to be as one, to have a love, to have some fun. What it's like to be on top and nothing else really matters. 'Cause real love is what you got, he will never know. He will never know about having babies, about having great grandbabies, about having babies. Knees too weak from walking in the streets, lost to ever know what it's like to bounce baby Kiana up and down on his knees. And he will never know what it's like to hear her yell, "Granddaddy, granddaddy, granddaddy." Tell me a story about where we come from. Tell me a story about where we come from. And we will never know about holding hands in the park, 'cause most of the brothers I know don't think parks or holding hands is player.